recording, and we are going to go, Papa. Don't worry about a thing. We're going to go, Papa, and we're going to get it good. We are going to get it good. We are going to get it good. We're going to get it very good. No, Devin didn't say anything. That's what you texted me on you said that to me on WhatsApp. So that's what it was.
Where's the rest of the 22 people at?
I know, right? There's only 21. Tyler, my security guard. My security guard, Tyler. My security guard, Tim. You guys got to go in the chat and get these people on, because if they're trying to make money, they need to be on tonight, because we're going to make money in freaking seconds. We're going to make money so fast, we're going to put 10 lots on every trade, and we're going to ball. We're going to ball. All right, so I got a couple.
Tip them up.
Yeah, bro. Yeah, you know what I'm saying. Show them that picture that I took you in Houston too, bro. We're gonna get on, and we're gonna get on, and we're gonna go in. Okay, we're gonna get on, and we're gonna go in. Let's see. All right, guys. So I got a couple pairs I want to break down, some things that I want to talk about tonight that I think will be good. I don't know why GJ is up. That's actually not something that I wanted to talk about. I guess we'll start off with my favorite pair ever in the whole entire world, which is gold, because there is a few things that I want to break down on some confirmation systems, and I thought this was pretty cool. But first, if you guys see, we have this lovely touch 1 off sellers, touch 2 off sellers, touch 3 off sellers, dual trend line system in that level that we need to pay very close attention to. Now, I'm going to delete a few things off of here, like, let's see, this, and this, and this, and this, and this, that, right? So, if we look at this, really big on helping you guys understand about the triple confirmation system and just having more than one confirmation to take a trade. I don't want you guys to get caught up in only taking trades off of one confirmation and pretty much missing other money in the market, and also protecting yourself with not losing as many trades in a row, right? So with that, looking at this is one of the confirmations that we have right here. And something I thought was really cool about this setup was the ABCD pattern. I actually seen this, but this excitable move right here and this pullback right here, so really strong pullback, and this huge excitable move that it has right there. Well, actually, we would fib that. That would be a fib move. So it's pretty cool, because with the fib move, you know, we're sitting right here at the very tip of the zone, and we're all the way at the bottom down there. And with this right here, when you can see this, you can see the zone here. You can see the zone here. Within both of these levels, within both of these zones right here, this is the ABCD completion pattern. So when you see this plus the Fibonacci extension, this is actually a triple confirmation within itself. I didn't think I'd be actually getting a trade in on gold at any time soon, because of I just didn't know how gold was going to move, the different ways that this thing likes to do things, but it's actually sitting up pretty nicely. And we've had a few different days that have been sitting right here. And when I look at the 4-hour chart, right, I'm gonna pull this down. Okay, so there is that was the uptrend. That was a previous uptrend. Then that actually is the most recent place where buyers enter the market. The strongest point, the most recent point of where buyers engage, because again, and I actually gave this lesson at the retreat last week about engaging where the money is actually at. So this is really cool, because this is where the money so the money began down here and it followed. See how it followed right there perfectly until it didn't? And see how it came underneath there and then it flew up and then came above and then it followed that again. Okay, do you see how the start of money, it engaged right here, it shot up, it pulled back, it shot up, it pulled back, it shot up, it pulled back. Now do you see how it's hooking underneath? Well, that's the 4-hour and 1-hour trend that has now been broken, the uptrend. So this is pretty much where all of the buyers have gotten engaged at. You can see they've made their way through there. And whenever you look at it, it's actually merging on a triple confirmation sell point. So when I go back and I do this, oh, I did not have to do all that. Good God. So hold on here. And this right here, that line that just came on, so when we go back and you see that line to this line, that's actually the ABCD pattern completion point, which is at about 1858, 1857, okay? So it completed right around the zone, but it did it at a very strategic point. So there's going to be sellers that are going to enter the market in here. And again, it's not about being right or wrong. A lot of times you guys get caught up in, oh, I need to be right about this trade. And in order for me to even take the trade, I need to know that it's going to go in that direction, that it's most likely gonna drop. And that's not really what we want to do. We want to make sure we stick to our system. If any of you guys haven't watched my story on Instagram today, I just posted an hour ago. Go watch it. It's really good. It'll be very informative if you guys just read it and look at what I posted. It's just on my smaller account of the trades that I've done. But I think it'll help you guys understand, like, losing trades is a part of the process. And you guys are going to lose trades, but you have to have a system to do this, right? And now that you guys are going to have the ability to get 25,000, 50,000, 100,000, it feels good to actually say that, because I've not been able to say that on these webinars the last few months, but I've always known about it. But now that you guys have this ability to get this kind of money, you really need to take it more serious, right? So, like I know we're all having conversations about things and we're talking, but getting the account while you have the money and not putting the money into the market and potentially losing the money, but getting the account and then practicing on a demo account that's 25,000, 50,000, or 100,000, actually practicing, right? Actually practicing with that money and making sure that you got it down. And then whenever you want to actually take the challenge, you just let me know. And then we start you up a new account. And that's whenever your account starts. So of course you can get that anytime before January, but January officially is whenever it starts. So no one can actually officially start until January doing the real challenge. But if you guys want to practice now, understand that's an option. So that way you guys get used to seeing those numbers, because now you guys have the ability. Now it's like, okay, you really need to buckle down. You really need to lock in. That's going to be one of the biggest things that you really lock in with all of this. So understanding these things, it's important that you don't get caught up in the wins and losses. And that's why I put that on my story, because I was doing the same thing that grew the account from 3,000 to 15,000, but I just was losing, and the market wasn't going my way. I was losing 2% here, 3% here, and it was just adding up over time. The trades were simply just adding up. And then whenever the trade started going my way, I made it all back, plus over $2,000 worth, which was almost 10, 20%, which was 15% ROI. And I'm currently up, I think I'm currently up another 5% right now. So, and I got new trades in, and I'm going to kind of break that down for you guys so you can see what it is. But anyway, look at gold, look at what's happening, and understand on the smaller time frames. Remember, that's where you guys take entries. So remember, you take entries off of the smaller time frames, okay? Entries off of the smaller time frames. You're not looking to take them off of the larger time frame, okay? So with that, and understanding that, you can see that when the time frames begin to shift down, once you have triple confirmation or once you have larger time frame confirmation that's actually going on, here you want to start to shift down to the smaller time frames. So for me, what have I done with gold? I've already shorted gold. Okay, shorted gold at this level because I can clearly see. Again, you want to know where the stop loss needs to go. So since I've already shorted gold, and this is again why I tell you guys you need to be on the elite zone, because when you guys have the money in the account, I'm going to be saying the same exact things. So, if you want to kind of cheat in a way and me sit here and tell you the trades that I'm taking and the things that I'm doing, then this is the setup right here. This is what I'm talking about because I want to break this down to you. And if it goes my way, I lose the trade. You guys lose the trade. It is what it is. And if it goes against us, that happens. If it goes our way, it goes our way. So understanding this setup and seeing that the smaller time frame traders have been broken, the uptrend has been broken off of that. It's currently holding underneath the main daily and weekly sell zones, because that's what this double box is right here. It's the daily and weekly sell zone. And then this blue line right here is the fib 1.618 extension. And this line right here is the ABCD pattern completion point at that level. So understanding whenever you guys see this right here, this is the completion point. There's multiple signs coming up that this is a sell. So when you have the system telling you that there's multiple signs that there is a sell, what do you do? Do you sit there and think about the sell and wonder if it's going to go down and then go research all the different ways that gold can go to 100,000 pips higher? Or do you actually take the trade? You actually take the trade. That is called a connection with the market and not an attachment to what could happen, because it could also go in your direction, but you don't have a attachment to the outcome because you follow a system. So when you're selling at this level right here, where does your stop loss go, right? So whenever you take your tool over here, right here on your trading view, click it right here. And something that is going to be very good for you guys to do is to measure with your eyes and not count the pips. Because if you count the pips, you're going to be like, oh, that's way too big of a stop loss. I don't need to do that. And then it's going to get you way too much into your head. Now look at this right here. So where the red meets the green, that's where the market is supposed to be at if you're going to take a sell, right? Or buy, it doesn't matter. Whichever one you're doing, that's your reversal point. Now, do you see how high this red is? And do you see like the market went to right there? And I'll zoom this in so you guys can see it a little better. Okay, so I'm going to pull this out. We're going to look at this here. So when you see this here, here's the zone right there. Here's the zone right there. There's the zone right there. And there's the zone right there. That's the back of the red line. Right there is the back of the red line. Do you see how the market never reached the back of that red line? So if you were to take a trade right there, and then you go on your Servexis app, and you were to put a stop loss in, which would be 1887, where it says stop loss, you would be entering at 1864. That would work. Like that zone would work. This would definitely work right? So understanding and knowing that the market never reaches that level, that's good. Now, how about you do this and measure with your eyes? Do you really need it that high? Or could you bring it down to like right here? That would work too, right? That would definitely work. So looking at that level and looking at that zone, this would work right here. Definitely 100% work. And then if you put it about right here, would that work? Yeah, that would work also. And again, we don't want a massive stop loss on trades. What we want is to follow and listen to what the market is telling us. So if the market never goes any higher than this, is the market ever going to go higher than this? We don't know that. But what we can do is trust that the market won't go higher than that. and that is a valid place to put a stop loss. So whenever you look at this and you see this, you can see the furthest the market went up was that little tip right there, and I'm just going to pull it over to right here. And that was the furthest that the market went up. So when we know that that was the furthest that the market went up, what we're doing is we're making sure that we follow and we listen to the market in those zones and in those levels. So knowing this, we make sure that we place our stop loss outside of that. We take our trade off of that point, and then we look to ride the trade 3-to-1. Now, is that a 3-to-1 trade? No, it's 2.66. So we need to pull this down because we're looking for a 3-to-1. And that's pretty much an area in which we are looking to ride the trade. Now, remember, this zone right here was a completion of an ABCD pattern. So we are also before the reversal point. So something I like to do is if my 3-to-1 comes before my reversal point, then we're in good shape. And that's kind of what we want. But if my reversal point is right here, right, and see how if the market were to drop straight down to there, I would get a 4-to-1 trade. That's also acceptable. But what I wouldn't want to do is if my 3-to-1 came right here and decide to hold past my reversal point, because the market's pretty much going to have a reversal point about right here. It tells us that. And we need to honor that, because many times we don't want to honor that the market is saying I am a reversal point. We want to do what we want to do at the end of the day. That's what we want to do. So what you have to make sure to do is you have to make sure that you listen to what the market is telling you. So that's extremely important, that you do those things, guys. So those things that I'm breaking down to you, and what I'm sharing with you is very important to getting the market down, learning the market, understanding the things that you need to do. These are very important things. It's all already shown you multiple different signs that this thing can go down. And if it doesn't go down and it decides to go up, then it decides to go up. And there's nothing that we can do there besides it just goes up. But again, why I told you guys to revert to my story on Instagram on my visual prowess one. And if you guys don't have follow that in here, then I don't know what rock you've been living under in the last 2 months since my Instagram got disabled. But definitely, that Instagram is specifically for trading, so I try to post some good trading gems on that. But it would be very good to um, it would be very good to actually watch my story from today, because I didn't do anything different. And I talked about this whenever we were at the retreat with some of you guys that were in person. And Devin was actually here with me when we were doing the one-on-one training. I was telling him, I was like, yeah, I haven't done anything different. I was like, I've been doing all the same stuff. And then I literally told him that week we were doing the trading, I was like, if all these trades go my way that I have in, I said, then I'll easily make up the balance that I was down. They all ended up doing it, literally. So, and then this week I had another good trade as well on Euro NZD, but I held that over the weekend. So understanding that gold is at a selling point and it's at a zone, it's there, guys. So those of you guys who like the day trade and are going to be up in New York session tomorrow, and if you guys see gold, I have one position I entered already, and then I have another position. Sorry, Rebecca, and I have another position that I entered right here. I have a sell limit pending at actually 1867 is what I'm looking at. 1867. So that's my other sell limit sitting right there. I instant execution a trade right here, and then I have another sell limit pending right there, because the market's already done enough for me to know that this could be a drop. And what it's going to do is the market's been consolidating, so it's going to have a breakout very soon. So like it's no different than what it did over here. If you guys see whenever it like set here for days, and it was here from like the beginning of the week last week, and then it was there towards the end of the week, and then towards the end of the week it had that big push to the upside. All it's doing is it's priming for a breakout, so it's going to be something like this right here. May not have that size of a move. That was a pretty big move that it did. That was like 400 pips. But this right here is priming to either break through, or it is priming to break down and shoot down to the previous liquidity zone, which that liquidity zone is looking to be at around 1835 to 1830. So that's pretty much where we're looking at going. So um, just making sure that you guys see that and that you guys understand that. This is a really, really important part of trading. So if any of you guys um, are looking at it, again, just put a 0.01 lot on it. You don't have to put anything crazy on it, and just watch what happens. Like it's not a death note. It's not like you're gonna lose your life if you take this trade, but you want to watch it. And again, that's why I said all these things for so many months, was just practice, 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 and just apply the things that I'm teaching you, because again, it's going to pay off very soon. So next one was oh yeah. No, it's right here. Euro NZD. But this was one I almost put this in the chat, but I didn't want to like really just give this away, because I want you guys to actually do the motions of really working for a trade and finding the right trade. Anybody who was at the retreat last week, we talked about this trade on Euro NZD, a trade that I took right here for a sell at that level, and I had put my stop loss like right out here behind here. And then another trade, and if you guys check my story, I have it on there. My sell was at 163,500. Again, I have usually 1, 2, and 3 entry point. So this is entry point 1. My second entry point was the touch of this line right here. My third entry point was the touch of that line right there. So me knowing that, like, I know all the zones in which I need to take trades off of. These are all triple confirmation points. Every single one of these right here, triple confirmation points. If you look at this thing off the bigger time frames, you can see what's really happening on Euro NZD. A buy, which what used to be a buy, has now switched to a sell. If you zoom in on this, you guys can see this was the retest right here of that weekly wick. This is buyers, buyers, buyers. Shift it to the daily so you can see. Again, these are all on higher time frames. Buyers, buyers, buyers. There is the retest, the break and retest of that line there, which also comes and breaks and retests this line right here, which also breaks and retests the weekly line right there, which also is hitting the Fibonacci retracement zone. Let's see. Oh, no, that was my last. If you guys see how my fib level, you see how it perfectly lines up with that 61.8 point? Because if it did make its way up there, that was going to be a for sure area I was going to sell at. But it didn't. It didn't reach there. So I'm not biased to where I'm like, or I have such a strong connection to the market that I'm not like, I'm only gonna take trades when it reaches this freaking level every time, bro. You know what I'm saying? It's like, no. As long as it is showing me that it is priming for a reversal and it's in specific zones and there's multiple different confirmations in there, I react. I react every time. Like, that's just what I do. So it's all about a flow. That's it. It's literally just about a flow in the market and understanding like where the buyers are and where the sellers are. So of course I know that what will happen here, I've already taken some profit off of the trade. We are going to get the follow through just like it did here. So we're going to look for the high, the low, the lower high, the lower low, the lower high, and then we're going to look for a lower low. So I'm going to be looking at setting some sell stops below here because I want to catch the drop of this move again. And we'll probably, the fibs are great to, again, measure take profit points. So around 158.5 could be a take profit point. So that's another 300 pips to the downside. I'm going to look to position stack another trade over here. Hopefully it plays nice and it does a drop like this, 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 and this. and it doesn't do any weird stuff where it just kind of goes back and forth and takes me out of my other positions. Chef JPY, another trade that I wanted to look at. This trade here off of this level, I'm going to be looking at this trade to be having a breakout on these zones. So with this being the uptrend off of the daily, and this being the 61.8 level, this breaking off that zone, this being a head and shoulders pattern right here, this breaking underneath this zone right here that you see. I'm going to pull this out, that you see that it reversed that. And these were trades that we did a while ago, but there's another re-entry point coming up. This whole zone right here, this whole top line that you see, whole top line, that line too, all the way over here. We could be making our way all the way down to here. So looking at this level and paying attention to this, I'm going to be looking at some sells in this pair. It's the immediate dropping point is right there. That's pretty much the dropping point right now. If you see, this is the selling line. That's the strongest point of reversal also on the line chart. If you see that, coming back up and retesting liquidity right here is what we got going on. So I'm really liking this. It's looking really good to me for a drop. So we could see a fallout. This might just be another good point of entry on Chef JPY. So I'm paying very close attention to this little booger right here. I'm definitely paying a lot of attention because I like it. I like the zone. I like this level. That's Chef JPY. And if anyone stayed in Euro Chef, that's a good pair. I mean, it's still, I mean, it's breaking pretty heavily. It's broken below all the zones. This was another trade I was talking about selling. Sold it up here, took profit at the end of the week. It's starting to break below a price point there. We could be seeing this thing dropping a lot further. NZD Chef. No, I don't want to talk about that. Euro Chef. I talk about this? Oh, that's what I wanted to talk about. GBP Chef. GBP Chef. Here's what I want to look at. This chat is really going off. People can't get into the chat. I see MJ's been helping people out. Y'all having a problem getting into the chat? Is that what's going on? There's people who can't get into the chat. Tati, Maya, Troy. That's weird. I don't even know what's going on. Who couldn't get in? Regina, but Regina's in. I know Matthew, but you're in. What? Why? What is? I don't understand. Maybe people need to re-download the Maybe people need to re-download the app, because I don't know why it's not working. It should work fine. I don't know why. I mean, there's really not much I don't know. These fibs on GBP Chef are blinding. I'm gonna delete these. This is something else I was looking at. Might be another good trade here. Something I want to talk about on GBP Chef, because there's some interesting things, and I remember why. Really interesting things on GBP Chef. We'll pull this thing back, okay? And I want you guys to look at this. Okay, so this is the Fib 50 right here. This line that we have here. I want to show you guys what it starts to look like on trades where there is a lot of different confirmations that are saying for a buy and are saying for a sell, and you're like, well, what the hell do I do? So this line through here, we haven't reached. But what have we reached? Double buying zone here, the dual trend line, daily chart buy. We have the excitable fib move right here, which is the 50. Then we have the buying zone, the buying zone, the buying zone, the buying zone, right? And so when we come into here, this is also an excitable move right here. So when we pull this over and you look at the market through here, I'm going to now pull this to the 4-hour chart, okay? Now, this, again, is the most immediate downtrend. This is a trade that I took last week. I took a sell on the trade right. I took a sell on the trade right there. And whenever the market reached this level, this was a place where I had triple confirmation for a sell. It popped through just a little bit on there. I actually seen this happen, and I added to position because at that zone, at this zone right here, you guys can see there's 1, 2, 3, 4 hours of buildup. I think I waited for 3 hours of buildup, and I took the trade off of that because this was the daily downtrend. But it came there, and of course, that was a good sell. And then when I ended up taking my trade out over the weekend, I took it out all the way down here. And then we've gotten a break in that line, okay? So since we've gotten a break in that line here, what I've been watching is the market in these specific levels, because this is the downtrend right here. So it's broken the downtrend. This is a double bottom, okay? So since this is a double bottom off of that level, what we have to understand, what you have to know is that since this is this double bottom, this can be a breaking point, but it's also going to run into even more resistance as it comes up to the zone right here, as it comes up to this level right here. There's lots of confirmations for a buy. There's lots of confirmations for a sell. So it's really whichever one you decide to do. If you decide to take both the buying opportunity and both the selling opportunity, it's about who's going to win. So if you want to buy, if you want to sell at the same time, it's not that it's a wrong thing to do. You just need to know where to buy and you need to know where to sell. So this point up here is your selling point. This point down here is your buying point. So, and then you wait on the breakout. That's what you wait. That's what you wait on, is you wait on the breakout. So this zone right here is a zone in which I'm looking for price to go down from. But if it chooses to go up, if you had bought this, I don't want you to think that it's wrong if you had bought this, okay? Because it's down at the level. There's multiple confirmations showing a buy, but there's also multiple confirmations showing a sell as well. So those are extremely, extremely important things to understand and extremely important things to know. So this is a pair that I wanted to talk about, that I wanted to break down because I think if you guys were to take these trades and you were to do this, that it's not a wrong thing to do. The market is going to come to points where if you look at it and you be like, you know what, nah, this doesn't look good on the eyes, that's fine. Just don't trade it. Just find another pair. There's many other pairs that you guys can look at that may be a better place to buy at and a better place to sell at, because not every single trade is going to be a perfect trade every single time. But a really good one for me for the start of the week is gold. I think that's a pretty easy trade right now. I like the zone that it's at. I like the area that it's at, and it's this zone here. And I mean, if you guys were to take this trade at the beginning of the webinar, this would be 25 pips up. But again, we're not worrying about 25 pips. If it was 250 pips up, we'd be lit. But we're not really worrying about 25 pips. But the reason I'm bringing that up is because where you sold it is extremely important. That's why literally every single trade that I take, since I can literally remember, I've literally went into profit. So I always have the ability to make money. So you should unless you do like a sell stop or a buy stop and your trade like barely gets hit and goes against you, literally all your trades should go into profit, because if you're good enough, you should know every area in which the market has a potential to reverse that. That's really the key. So understanding this, and then it's of course about stop loss placement, and then about trade management, and about patience, and then just allowing the market to do what it needs to do. I'll do a breakdown of NZD USD, and then I'll open it up for any questions that you guys might have. So NZD USD. Oh yeah, it's coming on to a buying. Oh, you know what I wanted to look at now that you said this? Is odd USD. Oh, it never freaking hit my buy limit. I know it was close to my buy limit. Where'd it go? 72780. So my buy limit was at 72600. Barely freaking missed it. Just looking back on that. So yeah, NZD USD. Okay. So NZD USD.
Yeah, I was looking at that pair too.
Yep, NZD USD. So it pretty much came back into a liquidity point, went beyond the liquidity point. Pull it back over here, broke through that zone. It's retesting. It's retesting the zone. This is a guaranteed buying zone right here. When I say guaranteed, I just mean like it has multiple confirmations, not that it's going to go up. This is a break and retest zone. That makes sense on what it's doing there. Then when we shift down to the smaller time frames, this thing has given 400,000 reasons for a sell. Maybe not so much up here, but when it reached about right here, especially right here, when it was here, you could go M-top trade. But when it's here, with the market hitting where it's at, that's a lower high. So that's a downtrend right there. So that's a high, a low, a lower high, lower, lower, lower high, lower, low, a lower high, lower, low. That's actually not a lower high. Close though. But I was just going really fast. But that's definitely a lower low. But in this one is like a newly formed zone. So whenever it did it, just to look at this real quick, this is where buyers were. This is where sellers were. The market broke above, looked to take price higher. When it came, and this is pretty cool because it came back into the zone of selling right here, right at the tips of these candles, which right here was around the break and retest point. So when we pull this over to the 4-hour, you can pretty much see that buyers, 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 buyers. Price hooked under, came in, and it went up. And it probably, if you guys would have taken a break and retest trade, which would have been a sell like right here, 71400. That'd have been close because 40 pip stop loss, it's not that actually that big. 40 pip stop loss isn't too big, but to me, I would feel like your stop loss would get hit if you took it off that. But if it comes back and hooks around here and you take a sell off of this, you have 4, 8, 12, 16, 24, 28, 32 hours of buildup right there. Shift it to the hour time frame. You can clearly see the uptrend gets broken here off the hourly. There's the low, there's the high, there's the lower low, there's the higher high right there. I said lower low, I meant higher low. Here is your trade right there off of break and retest, and you see there's your entry point. Stop loss can go right above these two highs right here. All it is price action I'm teaching you guys. So it doesn't matter it doesn't matter, like, as long as you can read price action charts, you just need to take your trades based off higher time frames, and then when it reaches those higher time frame levels, then what you're going to do is react based off of the zones that it sets up for you. So price, when I say price action, this is an uptrend on a monthly chart, or that's an uptrend on an hour chart. It doesn't matter. When price breaks the trending up point and it hooks underneath it, it is looking to sell. To give you an example, we're going to go to gold, and we're going to look at the hourly chart on gold, and we're going to shift this thing over to here. when price breaks the buying point, we are looking to sell. Do you see how it broke that buying point and it's under? So if that's not an example of what's to come potentially, because again, nothing is guaranteed in the market, we would be looking at a really massive trade. So those of you guys who are really trying to take yourself to the next level, which is why I said just put a 0.01 lot on there, throw your stop loss high enough where it's not like way, way far away from the highs, but high enough, far enough to where, and then far enough to where it's not right on top of the wicks, meaning if you were to put a stop loss in, you're not going to put the stop loss like right there, you know what I mean? Or you're not going to put the stop loss like right here. That's kind of too close. You want to kind of put it a little safe distance away, which that's a pretty good safe distance away from the highest high. So that's looking at gold. This hasn't happened yet. So if gold spikes up tomorrow or tonight, you need to be excited about that. Because if it does, you're like, oh shit, it's going back up into liquidity, and you want to take that trade when it goes back up into liquidity. That's important. But knowing and seeing this happen here and that break right there, that move for it to happen all the way down here is great, because these are little small signs that you want to be looking for to figure out where the market can potentially go. And then of course, there's these trades over here, selling zone, selling zone, selling zone. And even if you were to take a sell right there immediately off that point, let's see, that's basically going to be 7158, 71. I usually always do round numbers. So if I go to the tip of this wick, we're looking at basically 20 pips at this as a stop loss right there. So if you did a 30 pip stop loss, you'd be up here at 900. Your stop loss wouldn't get hit. So again, you have to be honest with yourself in the market, like if you're taking a trade. So if you want to go back and back test, it's great and it looks good. But if you're not honoring like the stop loss in the market that the market's giving you, like you see that right there, that wouldn't get hit. You pull it right here to the next point of entry, that wouldn't get hit. You pull it over here to the next point of entry, that wouldn't get hit. You pull it over to the next point of entry and you see that wouldn't get hit. It got close, but it didn't get hit. And then you look at your trade, 2.25. Would you get at least a 3-to-1 trade? Yes, it would have went all the way down to 5-to-1. That would work. So just getting those things down and repetition and just understanding, like if you took a trade up here, great. But if you seen it late and it came all the way over here and it comes back into the zone where you got the big daily resistance right here, you got the four touches right there off the 4-hour. This thing breaks all the way down underneath and it comes back up into liquidity, which is a third confirmation. That's 3 different confirmations there. That's enough for you to take a trade. If you go on the smaller time frames and want to take the smaller move right there, take the trade. I mean, there's many different confirmations that's giving you that thing can drop. So just understanding those things are really, really important. Let's see, just curious, do you usually do pending orders? Yeah, I take pending orders and I also do I do market price. So it depends. Like gold, I already did a instant execution, and then just in case I'm asleep tonight, well, I will be asleep tonight, but if I'm asleep and at night while I'm asleep, it goes and hits a better entry point for me, then I want to capitalize on that, because I can sleep totally fine at night knowing that if the trade goes against me, I don't worry about it. And if it goes my way, I don't worry about it because I know where the market is going to reverse at. Like I can see it. I don't know if it's going to reverse every time at my levels, but I know if it does, then I'm most likely going to be very extremely in profit. Or is it market price in case it's moving fast? No, I don't. I don't ever worry about missing a trade. Like I know you're new, but anyone can tell you on here. I literally, um, will get on here and I'll be like, damn, I wish I would have been looking at this market, because if I would have been seeing this, I would have sold the farm on this thing. So I mean, I don't really worry about missing it. There's abundance, and I know you got this mindset already, but abundant mindset is going to get you really far in trading, because there's always going to be a trade. There's always going to be a setup. So there's really no reason to worry um, about missing a trade at all. It's just about being in flow with the market and being connected to the market. That's really about it. There's nothing. There's nothing that you really have to worry about with the market at the end of the day, because it's all going to be there at the end of the day. Let's see. So, bless you. Does anybody else have any other questions? I just know those are the ones that were GBP CAD. GBP CAD. Coming to a buying zone. Yeah, there's a lot of money in this zone. I see why I don't trade this shit though, because there's too much wild shit. And that's all a buy zone. I'm looking at that. Yeah, looking at that weekly. Mm-hmm. That's the monthly buying zone. So that means this is the fib through here. So it's at the 38.2 area. Shift it over to the daily. And this is a selling zone on GBP CAD. This is one where it doesn't look very good on the eyes. Yeah, and that zone's all the way over there. If I were to move this to there, it's going to go strongest point of reversal. Yeah, that's strongest point of reversal there. Buyers, buyers, buyers. Boom, boom. Straight through there. I gotta get my charger. I'm laying on the couch. Where's my charger? There's my charger. Okay. All right, hold up. Gotta get in the game chair. Gotta get my work chair. This is my work chair right here. Whenever I need to get on Call of Duty and I gotta go to work. Yeah, that's that zone through there. 4-hour chart.
Your computer about to die.
What?
Your computer is about to die. It's at 6%, dude.
Oh yeah, that's what I went and got my charger.
Oh, never mind. I see it.
Let's see. So yeah, this is an interesting pair. It hasn't broken the downtrend yet. This one needs to break this downtrend because it's in a really weird zone. When I say weird, I just mean like there's going to be a lot of things that can happen. I would wait on this thing to break the downtrend and give it some time, because this monthly chart and weekly chart is about to come into play, because this zone is a very volatile area. If you wanted to jump in this because you want to catch it at the low, then you would buy it here and you put your stop loss there. But if you want to wait on more confirmation and be smart, give it a little bit more time, then you'll want to wait for it to cross that line, because this thing is not trading really off the smaller time frames. It's more or less trading off of the weekly and the monthly. So there's going to be some movement in that pair for sure. UJ and GN. Good night and Uncle John. So we're going to look at Uncle John and good night. Because that thing be putting you to sleep. Oh, Emerson, I remember you brought this up to me when we were at the retreat. And this was really nice. This, to me, USDJPY looks like it's a buy. I like this. I like this whole zone that it's in right here. I can see a selling point, but there's just not a lot of confirmation for me to be looking at a sell. But this thing came down perfectly to a break and retest on this level. It broke above the 127. To me, it looks like price is going to start pushing up to the 116s. Again, this thing, and I'll take this off real quick. This was the selling point for UJ whenever it crossed that line under here. So there was a selling point for it. That's where you wanted to sell UJ at. And then if you missed that right there, you sell that right there with the stop loss above that right there. UJ came back into a break and retest zone of a really major zone. This line right here was the break and retest point of the weekly zone, and I'm going to show you what this weekly zone is doing. It came in, and this was the break and retest of that, okay? Now, to me, this thing looks like it's got room to go because it broke out of this downtrend from 2017. So to me, it looks like it's got a lot more room to roll. But again, I just see more confirmation for buying than I do selling. I mean, that's honestly it. It hasn't even broken, and I'll just pull this up. It hasn't broken that. That's the uptrend right there. So that's how strong that uptrend is right there. So looking at that, I'm just looking at this thing, and to me, that just looks like it's going higher. You pull the fib on this thing on the excitable move, which is what I just had. You're looking at the 61.8 is really close there. It's broken above all the psychological fib levels. To me, it just looks like that thing's going to go way higher. And that's just looking at it to me. It has much more confirmation for a buy than it does a sell. USD on currency, yeah, bullish, which would make sense too. GBP NZD. Let's go look at that. Oh, here it is right here. That old GN. GN. It's got the sellers pretty much all through here. Sellers there. Sellers there. I'm just looking at this. That's like the strongest point of sellers. Let me look at the daily and confirm. Yes. That's the daily chart. Pull this thing down to here. Pull this thing down to here. Yeah. This is one that just does not look good to me. Looking at this thing, I mean, I don't like it for anything right now. I mean, this is the ABCD pattern. It completed the pattern for its reversal. It hit the 161.8. It's not rejecting that. It's between the 127. About the only thing that I could say, that's the A, B, C, D completion point right there. About the only thing I could say is you might see that, yeah, that's what I was going to say. About the best sign to start waiting on this thing if you're wanting to look for anything that's going to give you a lot of confirmation for a trade is right there, which is about 130 pips to the upside. And I don't even need all these anymore because I have these zones marked out perfectly. So this is pretty much your zone in which you're looking at. This will be a good one, and if this thing starts rejecting a whole lot and it doesn't If it rejects like right here again, that could be option 1 to take a sell. And then option 2 might be like right here, and option 3 right here. But for me, I might go option 1 here with the stop loss like right there, then option 2 right there with the stop loss above there. That's what I'm looking like on GBP and ZD. Let's see. CAD Chef. Nas 100. Oh yeah, I looked at that earlier. Nasty. All right, let's see. This thing here. Oh, this is that weird. Is this that monthly chart? Let me see real quick. Yeah. Strongest point of monthly reversal. Furthest point of monthly reversal. I don't like this thing at all. This thing's like 700 things about this thing. I could name you more stuff I don't like about this than I do like about this. And I can see where the zones are. This one doesn't have really good confirmations to go off of either. I mean, that's a buying zone, that's a buying zone, that's a selling zone, but it's like that's literally it. I mean, there's this monthly zone, but it's like the stop loss has to be massive unless price builds up a really good amount of sellers right here, then you'll know. But to me, that's just a zone that's going to start getting way too confusing if you mess with that too much. I'll look at NOS 100 because it's actually breaking a zone. It's actually breaking underneath the zone that I liked, which it was here for the immediate trend. It broke it. It's starting to throw up signs of reversal inside of this, which it popped right outside of that zone. But if you guys notice, it came back into the selling zone. That's really good because since it came back into the selling zone, we can really figure out where we can start taking sells at and putting stop losses. This could be a really big trade. If this zone builds up a few days of resistance right around here, that's cash. And I'll look at taking that trade because I actually have taken that on CAD JPY. I've taken that on Cervexis a couple times before. But that's a really good zone. If it starts showing resistance around this 16,300 area to 16,215, that's going to be a really good sell. Does anybody else have any more questions? I don't know why people had such a hard time in getting on. It's weird. Because I don't know. It's good though. I think we had like 30 some people on. That was good. That's good. 30 some people out of 40. There's really, let's see in the chat, there's 43, I think. Yeah, 43. So that's good. Hopefully you guys got a lot of value out of this and you guys learned. So take what we talked about, apply it, obviously, and just take trades. Take trades. Don't be afraid to lose. You guys don't have to worry about struggling for money to get money to put in your trading account. So take this shit more serious. Like, don't try to build $100 to $100,000. Just focus on taking the right trades, doing the system, following the market, and just allowing the market to move the way that it's going to move. And don't sit there and get emotional about what it does. Just take the trades. That's literally it. No, I'm not attacking you. But again, just allow things to flow. Everything will be good. Like I said, you guys are going to have the funded account. That's not even going to be an issue. I'm excited for that. It's going to be good for a lot of you guys because you guys are going to have an opportunity to really take your lives to the next level in 2022. So just lock in. Make sure you lock in the right way. And You guys are going to be good. There's no issues, no problems. The only problems and issues that there are if you guys go try to find one or create one. And we're very good at creating problems and creating issues. But if you can take that same creative ability that you have, that you went to create a problem or to find an issue, imagine if you go and take that same creative ability to find solutions and to find ways in which you don't need to be stressed out and you don't need to worry about this and you don't need to worry about that. Because if you start to do that, the world will look a lot brighter and things will begin to look a lot easier and feel a lot easier for you. You know, those things are really, really important that you learn how to do. So take what it is that I talked about, apply it. This training will obviously be a recorded webinar. I'll put this up, probably be done in the next couple of hours, so it'll be there. And then, yeah, if anybody has any other questions about anything, just text me, and I'll get back to you guys. Other than that, I'll see you guys on Thursday. Let's see what the market does this week on gold. That's when I'm really watching, and see if Euro NZD decides to fall off Earth or if it decides to reverse at that level. See if Chef JPY decides to drop or if it decides to go up. GBP Chef, see what it does there, and I think that's about it. I mean, I know you guys are in other pairs, but those are just the ones that I broke down. So appreciate you guys getting on and appreciate your guys' time. GG's in the chat. We outie like the R8. Peace out, y'all.